You see, success and progress is not a linear journey. It stacks up over time. It's a very compounding interest model. So you won't see it daily. You won't even see it weekly sometimes, but you'll start seeing some changes month to month. And that's what you have to remember the whole time. Hi, my name is Moe Ghias. Essentially, I'm a kid who's obsessed with winning. Hello. Welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Mo. And today's healthy system is something that I think you all can relate to, which is judging success too soon. Okay. So the topic of today's healthy system is, are you judging success too soon? And if you are, here are 3 shifts to make sure that not only do we win today, but also we can guarantee long-term wins. And this one will be short and sweet. And I'll give you couple different ways on how this happens and how this way of thinking impacts not only your faith, your family, your finances, but also your fitness. So I'll give examples for each. I'll keep it concise, but the goal today is this topic. And I see this a lot because too often I see people quit too fast, right? They start a business, they end up quitting too soon. They start a fitness plan, they end up quitting too soon. And then they end up building the story in their head being like, man, I tried this, I tried that, I tried this, I tried that, nothing works for me. And I think that's a very detrimental way of thinking, because if you tried everything, something would have worked, but either you didn't try it properly or you didn't try it for long enough. And the worst part is you end up having to live with regret that, hey, I did this thing, didn't work. So today, let's dive into it. So if you're feeling stuck because you're not seeing immediate results, what might be happening is you might be looking at success on the wrong timeline. Let me explain. Sometimes week to week, nothing seems to change, but month to month, massive progress is happening. If not massive, progress is taking place, and any progress is good progress. Okay. You just sometimes have to zoom out. One of my friends, he always says, sometimes when you're too much in the weeds, you forget to feel the wind, right? So you don't notice the wind when you're too much in the weeds. So oftentimes to focus on the forest, we need to stop zooming in on one tree. We need to look outside. All right. So today I want to give you 3 things of how you can shift this mindset. So the next time you're faced with this, you don't end up quitting too soon and having to live with regret for the rest of your life. You see, I've never regretted sticking with things long term. I've only regretted things that maybe I was 90% there and I ended up quitting because I was like, man, this is not working. Okay. So number 1, stop measuring in days. I want you to measure in months. Okay. This is a small little trick that you can use that will actually help you. So most people get frustrated because they expect overnight success. What do I mean by that? You see, success and progress is not a linear journey. It stacks up over time. It's a very compounding interest model. So you won't see it daily. You won't even see it weekly sometimes, but you'll start seeing some changes month to month. And that's what you have to remember the whole time, because those changes are going to be small, but they will start to happen. Just like Rome was not built in a day. It took many years and decades for Rome to reach its peak, but it also wasn't destroyed in a day, right? For Rome to decay, it took years and decades even, right? So at the end of the day, these things are small campaigns that end up stacking on top of each other. So progress is not linear. It stacks up over time. Now I'll give you an example for each area that matters the most in your life: your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness. So if you look at your faith, you don't become more disciplined in faith after praying one time, right? You go through it, you grow through it daily, consistently, right? That's the thing with faith. You're not just going to read the Quran if you're Muslim or pray on the Friday or Jummah and be like, yeah, I'm a great Muslim. No, you have to continue to do it, right? You have to pray 5 times a day. You have to do all those things. And if you do it long enough, you'll start getting amazing results in your faith. Same thing with your family. You see, a great marriage or relationship with your kids is not built overnight. It's the result of showing up for your partner every day, giving them the love, the affection, the time, the quality time, the acts of service, all of that stuff consistently, right? Same thing with your finances. Investing $10,000 today won't make you rich tomorrow, right? But staying the course will. As business owners, we constantly have to make investments. We have to hire people. We need to spend money on advertising. All of these things cost real hard dollars. But the thing is, you might not see the return in a week. You might not get that money back a month later or even 2 months later. Sometimes that's okay, right? Because as long as you make the money back in the next 3 months or next 6 months or next 1 year, that's the game you signed up for, right? So at the end of the day, if you judge your success from week to week, nothing might be changing and you might be thinking, I'm not making any progress. But if you start looking at it from a monthly perspective, things start to shift, right? And lastly is my favorite, which is fitness. You see far too often people do 2 workouts and they're like, yeah, gym didn't work for me. I didn't lose any weight, so I quit, right? You see, one workout will not change your body. One healthy meal will not change your body. Just like one burger didn't make you fat. One slice of pizza did not make you fat, right? It all happened over time. For a lot of people, it took them 20 years to get to the out of shape position they're in. It took them 20 years to gain the weight, but they expect to lose it after doing 2 days of workouts, right? So it's like, hey, man, that's not how any of this works. That's not a problem with the program. That is a problem with your expectations. So remember this. One workout won't change your body. But if you do 30 workouts in 30 days and you follow the plan in your meals, you get enough sleep, you follow the instructions for 30 days, where you started on day 0 to where you ended at day 30, your body would look different, right? Maybe it doesn't look as drastically different as you did when you were 15 years old or 20 years old, but it looks a lot different now. Or you made progress. Maybe when you started, you couldn't even do a pull-up or you couldn't even hang from the bar. And now you can actually do 2 pull-ups. See, that's huge progress, right? That's 200% increase in progress. But at the end of the day, you have to stay in the game and look at if you're making progress, no matter how small. So stop measuring in days, measure in months. The second mindset tip I have for you regarding this topic is because human nature, our emotions get the best of us when it gets to this point. Too often we quit too fast because we're comparing ourselves to others. And then we're like, Susie's getting better results. So maybe I need to quit my plan and go follow Susie's. But you didn't realize Susie has been doing her plan for 2 years and you just started your plan for 2 weeks, right? It's not even the same thing. At the end of the day, number 2 talks more about tracking inputs, not just outcomes. So you see, you can't, so let's say the goal is to lose weight, to lose 20 pounds. That's an outcome goal. You can't always control the outcome goal. Let's say the goal is to make $100,000 in your business. That is an outcome goal. That is not something you can control all the time because there's no, like, it depends on how many customers pay for your service, how many people find out about your service, if advertising goes as planned. What if like something happens with your platforms, your social media gets deactivated, your passwords get stolen? Like there's so many variables that can happen on the way from the inputs to the outputs that you don't control the outputs most of the time, but you can control the inputs, right? You control how many workouts you do, you control what you eat, you control when you went to bed, you control how much water you drank, you control all of those little inputs. And if you do those inputs properly, you, in your business, for example, you control who you hire, you control how many, social media posts you made, you control how much advertising you did, you control how great of a job you did as in your business with delivering a great service. So how many testimonials you got, all of those things, you can control those things. And those are inputs. So I want you to track the inputs. I want you to become relentless with the inputs. I want you to work really hard and put a lot of effort into making sure that the inputs are stacked in your favor, right? A person that is not losing weight, yet they're also not doing the workouts. I'm like, dude, yeah, what did you expect? But a person that did all the workouts, followed the plan to the T, and they also went to bed every single day on time, and they got enough sleep, and they didn't deviate away, like they got it all done, it would be unreasonable for them to not get results. They might not see the results the first week, but I promise you, they'll see the results on week 4, week 3. Like the results are guaranteed once you stick with the process, right? So same thing in business, same thing in faith, same thing in finances. So you can't always control how fast the results will come, but you can control your effort. So focus on stacking good habits every day and trusting the process, right? I've been recording this podcast for 1.5 years now. Have I made any money from it? No, but it was not the purpose of this project. The goal of this project was to get our message out, to make more people know about this, right? Like have more healthy systems in their lives so they can become more successful in faith, family, fitness, finances, right? So now when somebody Googles me, it's so funny, side note, when somebody Googles Moe Ghias and they don't see my Instagram or even my Facebook, which is the platforms I've posted like thousands of pieces of content over the last 8, 9 years. They don't even see those platforms for some reason. I don't know why, but they don't even see it. You know what they see? They see Healthy Systems podcast show up. And that feels so good. I'm like, hey, people are like, when they look me up, they see Healthy Systems podcast. That makes me very happy. So at the end of the day, I don't control what people are going to see, what's on the internet, right? But I do control showing up every week and recording an episode at the same time and getting it done, right? And there are weeks, sometimes I'm sick, sometimes I have to travel, but I'm traveling and I still get it done because it is my promise that I will never miss the inputs, right? I will always show up and I'll do the work, and my effort will not be the reason I don't succeed, right? So at the end of the day, instead of asking, like, for example, for faith, instead of asking, am I more spiritual or am I being religious enough? Ask yourself, did I pray daily? Right? And instead of wondering, is my marriage getting better? Ask, did I prioritize quality time with my spouse this week? Right? So instead of stressing over revenue or how much money your business made, ask, did I make the right investments and followed the plan? Did I do everything I know I was supposed to do? And when it comes to fitness, stop obsessing over the scale. Right? Ask yourself, how many workouts did I do? How many cardio sessions did I do? Did I track my protein intake? Did I do my daily movement? Did I talk to my coach? Did I update my coach? Is the coach, satisfied with my work this week? Right? Because the coach is the only person that you're paying to make sure that you do the work, right? So I want my coach to know everything I'm doing. I want my coach to know that I did the cardio yesterday. I did all of this. And I want to communicate with my coach if I'm struggling with something. For some weeks, things don't go as planned, right? So all of these things matter. So number one, stop measuring in days, measure in months. Number two, track inputs, not just outcomes. And number three, this is the last one, play the long game. The wins will come. You see, people who quit too early never see the real payoff, right? Never see the real payoff. I mean, if you play the game long enough, success is inevitable, okay? The people that quit, they'll never make it. The game stops. So if you just keep playing the game, if you keep doing the workouts and week after week, you keep showing up, you're going to have an amazing body one day. I'm telling you, this is almost guaranteed. It's just a matter of time. If you do more workouts every day consistently, let's say you do 6 workouts a week, for 3 months, you'll get really good results. But now imagine if you do 3 workouts a week for the next 3 years, you'll actually get even better results than you could with 6 workouts every 3 months. So it's like the intensity of whatever you can afford to do now, just keep at it. Just keep going, and that will help you. And same thing with faith. Consistent faith over years leads to more unshakable belief. It will give you more rewards later on, right? And even in Islam, it might be the same in other religions too. It's like Allah loves consistency. Allah loves consistency. So whatever you can do consistently, if you can donate money to your mosque or to good causes, consistently, Allah likes that more than just doing something once in a while. Okay. Same thing with your family. Decades of love and effort. It's going to create that unbreakable relationship. So play the long game with faith, with your family, with your fitness, with your finances, right? Saving money, right? If you save, $100 a month, might not seem like a lot, but that ends up adding up pretty fast if you do it month after month for the next 30 years, right? So that's the art of compounding. So the 3 actionable takeaways. I want you to trust the process, focus on consistency, not instant results. And I'm telling you, the instant gratification from social media and all these like people winning faster than you, right? They're podcast people that have way more views than I do, right? They have much bigger businesses. And I've been doing this for 8-9 years, and they just started 8 months ago. So what am I supposed to do? Compare myself to them and then quit? Will that be wrong? Because we're not even comparing the same thing, right? What if it turns out next year that they were a scam and we have thousands of client testimonials and all these people that are amazingly happy with our service? So at the end of the day, please judge yourself on your own time scale, right? Judge yourself on your own metrics, because comparing yourself to people on the internet, not always the healthiest move, because you don't know where they started. You don't know, what they got going on. You only know the outputs. You don't know the inputs. So at the end of the day, trust your own process. Focus on consistency, not just instant results. Number 2, measure progress over months, if not years, not days. Okay. Number 3, keep showing up. Success happens to those who stay in the game. And in conclusion, I just want to say that most people quit because they expect fast results, but the winners, they play the long game. So if you're patient with the result and relentless with effort, So you're patient with the outputs, but you're relentless or impatient with the inputs. You take the actions every week. You take the actions every single day. You do the workout, you do the runs, you do the walks, you get after it. The inputs are not the reason. So even if you don't get the results that week, it will not be because you didn't put in the effort, right? So the inputs are what you are controlling, what you are doing, and the outputs are the results you're going to get. But from the distance between your inputs and the output, there's a few other variables that come in, and those are not always in your control. How your body is reacting that week, or what your body is going through, we don't always have full control over, but we do have control over what we put into our body. We do have control over how much exercise we do. We do have control over how much sleep we get. We do have control over how much water we drink, how much stress we're exposed to, etc. So if you can control the inputs, you increase the odds to your outputs, right? So at the end of the day, we don't control the outcomes, control the inputs that we work on. So be patient with the results, but be relentless with effort. And the longer you stay in the game, the better you get at doing the inputs. So then if you're the best athlete in the world, every workout that you do, the output will be much greater than if you're just a beginner and you're doing your first couple workouts or you just started 2 months ago. And it's going to take some time to build these skills. Like think back to imagine being in college or high school. Imagine just going through the first semester or like the first hour of the first semester and being like, oh, I'm done with college. This doesn't work for me. Or this school thing doesn't work for me. It's like, no, man, you passed judgment too fast. It was going to be a long road, and it is a long road. And you just have to take it one day at a time. So the longer you stay in the game, the more undeniable your success becomes, right? So at the end of the day, I remember, do not quit too soon because you're judging your success on the wrong time horizon. If you look at it day to day, week to week, on a 7-day period, nothing might be moving. But if you look month to month, you might be making leaps and bounds. Or even if it's not happening on your exact metric, figure out why that's happening, right? And then adjust your inputs accordingly. Be brutally honest with yourself. Do not lie to yourself. And this is another quote that I heard recently, which was, when you blame others, you feel good temporarily. When you blame yourself and you take ownership, you actually get better, right? So at the end of the day, instead of blaming everybody else, look internally. Be like, what's been off with me lately? I'm like, okay. And then you might realize that, hey, you've been sleeping in every day. You're not going to bed on time. You watch Netflix till 2 a.m. every night. You scroll on your phone too much. You say yes to every single thing. You've been saying yes to all your friends who want to hang out. And you realize that leaves you little to no time to meal prep. That leaves you little to no time to go exercise on the weekend when you have time off. So it's like, those are all things in your control. So you have to, but to get there, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. And winners are always brutally honest with themselves. I've noticed that, right? I try to be as honest as I can with myself, right? I don't always succeed because it is a lifelong journey. It's not something that I'm just going to say it and you just start doing it. It will be a process, even for you, right? So at the end of the day, be brutally honest. Like, why is this not happening? And then also give yourself grace because you are making progress. You might just not be making progress in the right ways. For example, if the goal is weight loss and you're trying to lose weight, but you're like, man, every week I step on the scale, the scale doesn't move. It's like, all right, are we truly following the plan? Day after day, what's your lunch looking like? What's your dinner looking like? Then you're like, oh, it varies. Some days I eat out, some days I eat here. It's like, all right, so we're not really controlling the inputs. The inputs are all over the place. So it's reasonable that we're not getting the outputs we want, but you are getting stronger. When you started, you couldn't even do a single dumbbell curl, and now you can do up to 10 reps. When you started, you couldn't even hang from the bar, and now you can do 2 pull-ups, right? So you see how measuring certain things is still progress, right? So like if you keep making progress in your exercise journey and you're starting to make small changes to your nutrition journey, that's progress. That means we're getting closer to the end goal. It might not be happening as fast as you want, right? Because humans tend to be impatient with the outputs. But at the end of the day, progress is still progress. So if you quit, that entire progress will stop. So then you will get further away from the goal that you want. So at the end of the day, keep going. You're not as far as you think you are. You also might be measuring in days when you should be measuring in months, if not quarters, if not years. Okay, so just think long term. Yeah, I think that's my advice to you. And if you look at nature is much more long term than we think it is, right? It takes a baby 9 months to grow inside the womb of their mother, right? It takes a pineapple 18 months to go from a planted seed to a full fruit. So at the end of the day, nature takes its sweet time because that's how nature works. Like Warren Buffett's quote I really like, which is you cannot get 9 women pregnant and expect a baby in 1 month. It takes 9 months to make, a baby, a human baby. So it's like, you can't just get 9 people pregnant and be like, oh, I'm going to get a baby in 1 month. It's like, that's not how any of this works. So sometimes you have to be patient with that and look at progress in the right time horizon. Okay. So I hope this helps. Just a nice, gentle reminder. And I wish you the best. And I'm just your coach, your friend who needs these reminders for himself too. So I hope this helps. And I look forward to seeing you around. And if you like this episode, please feel free to share. We don't have any sponsors. I don't take on any sponsors because I don't want to plug in ads here. The only thing that sponsors this is our own fitness coaching program, Training with the Titans. If you want more info on how we've coached hundreds and hundreds of clients over the last decade, get in the best shape of their lives at the comfort of their own homes, just go to our website, twtt.us. twtt.us. It's just short for Training with the Titans, but it's harder to type the whole word, so we just bought a domain. So twtt.us. Go to it. All the information is in there. If you want, you can also book a free consultation with me. We can chat, get to know you better, get to know your goals better, get to know your obstacles better, and then get after it after that. Hope this helps. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. 1, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at Moe Ghias, MOE, G as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word Healthy Systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in, and I really appreciate you.